So, a few years ago, I went through an existential crisis. I had a certain kind of life, a certain set of values, a certain set of friends, and all of a sudden, all of that was called into question. And I ended up losing all of that. And I wasn't sure what was up and what was down anymore. I was intellectually and morally disoriented. And of course, during this period, I was, doing a lot of soul searching. And I began finding myself strangely drawn to trees. I'd find myself looking at them on my drive home or while walking through my neighborhood. And I would think to myself, that means something. I don't know what it means, but it means something important to me personally. In other words, the tree evoked a very strong, and in my case, positive emotion, but I didn't know what it meant. And this is what symbols do, and it's how I think a great many of mankind's great symbols arose. They arose spontaneously when someone encountered some concrete object, either in the physical world, as in my case, or in their imagination or in a dream, and found themselves unaccountably moved by it. It meant something mysterious to them. It was telling them something about their own psyche, but they didn't know what, at least not when they first encountered it. And this distinguishes psychological symbols from other kinds of symbols, like the symbols we discussed before, whose meanings are clear, unambiguous, and consciously created, like the letter A, or SOS, or a stop sign. And Carl Jung doesn't even call those kinds of symbols. He calls them signs. And he defines a symbol like this. He says, what we call a symbol is a term, a name, or an image, which in itself may be familiar to us, but its connotation, use, and application are specific or peculiar and hint at a hidden, vague, or unknown meaning. A term or image is symbolic when it means more than it denotes or expresses. It has a wider, unconscious aspect. And what happens, I think, during symbol formation is that the subconscious, it's obviously not doing concept formation, but it's recognized some correspondence or commonality between the object symbol and some important unknown content of the subconscious. It's our psyche's attempt to bring up some hidden or suppressed or repressed content from the subterranean passages of our own mind and bring it into the light of day so that we can incorporate it into our consciousness.